TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Matt Borne. I had some Matt Borne matches. That I remember one time we went an hour Broadway, and at the end of it, he had me 1-2. I kicked out 1-2, and the bell rang at the end of the 60 minutes, and it was in the Sportatorium, and everybody started hollering, "Bull, yeah, bull." Well, Gary Hart and Matt's father got together, and we did another 15 minutes. They agreed another 15 minutes, and it was the same finish. 1-2, buzzer rang, time was over, and we had a standing ovation. Matt Borne, it was 110 degrees inside that building. There was not a dry spot on that mat. It was soaking wet. Matt Borne laid there for a while and got up, hugged each other. I went my way, he went his way. We had a standing ovation, and that was probably one of the best matches that, as far as time-wise, that we ever had like that.
As far as fans, you wrestled a lot of different territories. What were the best fans that appreciated you the most?
I made an interview out of Texas, out of Dallas one time, and it was basically Gary's idea. You know, women loved me, the men hated me. It was a Latin heartthrob.
Right.
And I made an interview one time about I had 3 or 4 different women around me at all times. If I found someone pretty, I said, "Hey, babe, come here." We went to a restaurant, a little Italian restaurant, and there was no women in there except for the owner. You know, nice looking blonde, so I took her in there and said, "Well, we'll do this, we'll do that." So he brought the food out, we ate, you know. Lady comes by with a flower, and there's a fake rose, you know.
Right.
So I told her, I said, "Here, babe," I said, "this is for you." And I handed her this fake rose. I said, "Maybe next time you get a real one."
Huh.
You know. So a few minutes later, they come up with a check. But when they gave the check to me, I looked at the guy and I looked at her and said, "Here, use your credit card, baby. We'll use the cash. We'll spend the cash later." My dad saw that interview, and my dad started telling everybody. He said, "I taught my son better than that. I taught my son." My dad was a believer, and
Memories working with a very young Mick Foley back then, Cactus Jack.
ooh, Cactus Jack. Yeah, at the time he wasn't a flyer like he turned out to be. He pretty much do anything in the ring too, and it showed later. I feel sorry for him about now, because now's when all them bumps take effect.
Right. I guess USWA started that took over for World Class. What are your take on that situation?
It didn't last long. They flew me in there because, like I said, I was probably one of the last ones to draw $100,000 in Texas Stadium. But they took me in there and they put over the Patriot. And Bob Eady was a booker, I believe, or Eden somehow. He was a booker, and he asked me to do it, and I did. And they wanted it clean. Well, first time Eddie Gilbert had a little interference, and it wasn't what they wanted, so I redid it. I did it again.
Now, Terry Taylor, did you have a lot of heat with Terry Taylor?
No, I didn't have any heat with Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor, to me, I'm going to say 10 of probably the best. I'm going to include myself in that. Terry Taylor was one of the tops.
There's never any problems with you guys?
No,
Okay.
not that I know of.
What are your memories of working with Eddie or Eric Embry as a booker?
Eric wasn't bad. He was young and learning about the booking situation. He wasn't too bad as far as a booker wise. He tried to follow some of the old school methods, and when you're a booker and you're working too, you try to take care of number one.
All right. Do you think that interfered?
No, Eric never interfered with me. Like I said, Fritz Von Erich liked me, and I was Fritz's champion.
When Jerry Lawler came into the territory, how did guys treat him? And how did he treat the guys? Did he
Jerry
come with
never,
ego, or?
to me, no. Jerry never treated anybody any different. Jerry was Jerry. He didn't care who was around. He would treat everybody the same. He never had, no, I mean, not that I noticed any egos from him, but he never treated anybody different.
When he came in, did you see anybody like as a threat, like as far as maybe Jerry, that maybe your push as a top guy would be over? Or?
Nah, because at the time Ken Mantell took over the book when Jerry came in. So I knew they had their own crew, and I talked to Fritz already. I told Fritz, I said, when it's time, I said, you let me know, because the only one I'm going to put over is a Von Erich.
Right.
And I did.
What do you think World Class did wrong that caused it to go down?
I think it was too much television. I don't think they did anything wrong, but they needed to change out their talent more than what they did. Fritz, to me, Fritz was like, if you were in with Fritz, you stayed there for years. And to keep a territory alive, you got to rotate your talent. You rotate your talent. What happened with Fritz's stuff was there was too much television going on with WWF, NWA, their TV, and all the cable networks coming through. That's what killed Fritz.
You think it just went stale, the product?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What are your memories of working with Michael Hayes?
I only had a few matches with Michael Hayes. He was more of a gimmick, but he was good. He was okay. There was nothing wrong with Mike.
How about Chris Adams?
Chris Adams goes in one of the top 10. Like I said, there was a few of them that I had a lot of respect for, and Chris Adams was one. He would do anything and and get the job done.
What was he like outside the ring?
I never socialized with him a bunch outside the ring. In the dressing room, he was always laughing. He was a character there, but he went his own way. I never socialized with most of them guys anyway.
TitleMatchNetwork.com